Welcome.
Bienvenidos, bienvenidas.
Willkommen.
Ahla wa sahla to breakfast together.
Finalmente, all together.
Welcome to another episode in 2026.
2026.
Wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Frohes neues Jahr? Ja, ein frohes neues Jahr.
Gott nytt år!
Ja. Hello everyone.
Welcome.
You're probably listening to us like in 1 or 2 minutes right now, like saying like, what the hell here? Why?
No, that's only future Demi. Like he will edit all of that
Yes,
stuff out.
yes,
Don't worry.
yes.
Dim is like, let me just bring some work to my editing now.
Yes.
Since
So
I'm
I can.
We're just too excited to see each other again because today is the first time that we are all reunited again in 2026.
Yes, we are back. We are back. I don't know when was the last time that we have seen all, like maybe November or October. We're like all together in this beautiful platform. We're not gonna say the name because they don't pay us. But
We pay
yeah.
them.
We pay them. Yes. So no, we're not gonna say the platform. But yeah, I'm feeling happy to see everybody here.
and the same here.
Like,
Nice to see you guys. Good time to start the year together.
I second that.
See,
I triple
You
that.
said the word.
Who will give more? Who will
Quadruple.
give more?
Yeah.
We've had some trips in our podcast team. Dimi, you have been traveling. Tile as well.
Not so much. For my standards, not so much.
I mean, yes. Dilemma here. You have to also chill down a bit. Settle down, you know.
Yeah, no, this year it's gonna be New Year resolution, no more resolution.
No more
We
trips.
don't need no. So what's today's topic, guys?
Actually, the topic just came out itself because Telemachos was sending some really interesting videos in our secret group. And guess what, guys? We've encountered a very interesting TED Talk on love and love in translation. And what's best to do than talk about love in different languages in the beginning
Actually, I
of the
think we
season.
need to release this episode in February for St. Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Not for the future.
Esatto.
Yeah,
to
but
say-
let's 2026 be the year of love. You know, let's have like a fabulous beginning. So I have to say, like I just watched the TED Talk right before recording, but I watched it.
Shame
That's
on
the
you,
most
Irena.
don't shame me. I watched it, and so I have the freshest memories of the talk. And the talk is called
Brief us, baby.
"Why Love is Harder in a Second Language" by Magdalena. How do you pronounce her last name? Hörer, I guess. You can find it on YouTube, and it's about 15 minutes long. And she is married. She's Austrian. She's married to Australian. You know, I can imagine how many jokes that couple receives, you know, when they're going to Australia. Yeah. And she's a researcher, and she's obviously proficient in English. She's giving the talk in English. However, she was commenting about the linguistic challenges that might appear in a multilingual couple. And nowadays, you know, thanks to the internet and thanks to the fact that people travel more and many other factors, there are more and more multilingual, multicultural couples than ever. And not the least in our community, in the polyglot community, you know, people meet, people mix and match. In our BT team, we also have multicultural, multilingual couples.
Purely multilingual couple seems like.
Actually, yes. None of us is together with the partner from the same country, which makes it even more exciting. We love the challenge.
Tile, you're the only one that can change the destiny of this podcast.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Yes,
Not
you have
not
to
really
find-
inclined to do that.
Yeah, so yeah, I really like the talk, and I think that she set a very good discussion. I could relate to a lot of things, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. In the beginning, for example, she mentions why does I love you, the words, the phrase I love you, feel different in a different language. So she's, for example, used to saying it in German because she heard it from her childhood, from from her parents, ich liebe dich, and that's the phrase that feels closest to her. Is that how you also feel, or what do you think?
I think so. I think there are two factors into this. The first one is that I think these types of like words about emotions, especially like the "I love you," is a lot more feels a lot more strong and like kind of coming from the heart in your original language. And it's the same also like for swear words. So it's the same like in a fight or something. Like the swear words always hit a lot harder in your original language. And also I think it depends on how often these words are used in your language, because I think English is infamous for people saying "I love you" all the time, the whole time, for random things. Whereas I think in some other languages, maybe you guys can give some insight how it is in Slavic languages. These words are reserved for very special occasions. With I think a famous story about German is that German people say "I love you" three times in their life or something. Like once, I don't remember the first time. The second is like when they're getting married, and the third one is when they die or something like
Oh
this.
my
Yeah, I
god.
guess like the first one is with the mother or something like that. Yeah,
Probably, yeah, yeah. So
When they're born.
there's this joke which is in direct contrast with like the the more American culture where people say "I love you" just like hello,
yeah.
basically. So how is it in Slavic languages, guys? How is it in Belarusian? How is it in Ukrainian
It's a good question. I don't think I'm the great example for presenting the Slavic culture, to be honest, especially
or
after my
Turkish or
last
Turkish?
genetic test, where no, I mean Slavic and Turkish cannot be different. It's I would say, and Irana, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that Polish, Ukrainian, and Belarusian and the Russian way of sort of expressing love is definitely much more reserved comparing to Turkish. I mean, in Turkey, you say "I love you" like couple of times a day. Literally, that's what you do. You express love all the time. Actually, I had it from my childhood. My mom always told me that she loves me pretty much many times a day. I have the same right now with my husband. So that's kind of, I mean, I'm just carrying the same pattern. And it's very difficult for me to imagine that I would book this magic 3 or 2 words for a special occasion, and God forbid just saying it, let's say, only 3 times a life. I can't imagine this. But I do feel like I say quite easily "I love you" to my friends as well, and obviously to my mother and to my spouse. But I think this is rather an exception in a Slavic culture, a typical
Yeah,
Slavic
I can
culture.
confirm what Asa just said. It's definitely more like serious, in Russian "Я тебя люблю" or in Ukrainian "Я тебя кохаю" or "Я тебя люблю." Those are very special words. And actually, it's funny because just yesterday I watched a new Ukrainian movie, which is recommended to everyone. It's called "You Are the Universe," "Ты космос." And well, spoiler, you can go and watch on YouTube the trailer and try and then yeah, you can maybe watch it on in the cinema if you can, or online. Anyway, there is an episode, spoiler, there is a moment when the astronaut, because it is about the space, he's saying "I love you." He's Ukrainian and he's saying "I love you" to a French astronaut as well, and she says, well, those are very serious words. I cannot say it to you just like that. And of course, he becomes very hurt and very offended. And we, as Ukrainians, it was during the Ukrainian cinema days, during the festival, we could really understand what he meant. When he got hurt, because it's true. Like it's really, the bar is very high to say those words. I also have to add one curious thing. Many languages, they have two variants of saying "I love you." So there is, for example, in Italian or
Exactly.
in Spanish, in certain dialects, or even in
Ah,
Norwegian,
true.
there is
In
"Ja, ich
German as well.
in German as well, exactly. Ich hab
Yeah.
dich lieb,
Ja,
right?
dich liebe oder ich liebe dich.
Exactly. So you start typically in a relationship with
Yeah.
"Ya glidai" or "Ti voglio bene," "Te quiero" if it's Latin America, and then you progress, and eventually you say to each other "Te amo." Again, in Spain, "Te quiero" is what they say in all situations,
Hmm.
or "Ishi badish" or "Ya elskilai," etc. So that is a curious one. In Russian, in Slavic languages in general, there is no such thing. So you just wait, 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 and then the big "I love you" comes eventually.
But then, do you use it often, or it's also reserved for special moments?
I,
Let's say.
I, I absolutely agree with us. I think it really depends on your personality. Then I think that yeah, certainly it is
But I would
reserved,
rather
but
say it's mostly reserved for something kind of that tries to be serious, like much more
Mhm.
serious. You don't just say it a couple of times a day. Like in
No.
Yeah.
Turkey, seni seviyorum just flies around so much, and it's somebody's always doing this. "You seni çok seviyorum, çok tatlısın." Like I love you. You're so cute. And
Mhm.
literally, stretch it to everyone from kids to your spouse. That just works for everyone and friends.
Don't forget cats.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
actually, yes. I talk to animals in Russian normally, and I
Do you
count
tell
in
them that you love them?
yeah, actually, that's another funny thing. I was watching the movie with a Serbian friend of mine, and that Serbian friend of mine, she loves animals so much. When we were in Jamaica together, you might remember her from previous episodes. She used to grab cats, whatever, on the street, and she used to tell them one phrase that we still remember. She would say, "No one will love you the way I do," in Serbian, of course.
wow.
So a lot
Wow.
of Jamaican animals heard this declaration of love. The alligators, the cats, the dogs, the pelicans, everyone she met, they all heard it, but only the animals.
It's interesting that I was thinking how it is in Greek, and I think in Greek, I think we are kind of reserved with that because we have a ton of other stuff you can say instead.
Mm.
So you could say like you would call somebody my love very often, but
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't say I love you so often. Or for example, we have another thing that we say in Greek. We say se latrevo, which literally means I worship you.
Aw.
And it's kind of like it sounds more intense, but I think it's used like a bit more lightly than "I love you" in Greek. Like you can say that because you can also say that for food. Like oh, I worship potatoes.
I
It's
watch a
like
potato.
I
Okay.
really
I
like
definitely
potatoes.
do. I
We all do.
definitely do worship potatoes.
We
Of
all do.
course, you're Belarusian, so.
I mean, you can. I mean, I'm still 32%, out of the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, yeah, absolute worship to potatoes from
Imagine if
Belarus.
you were 100%. Just imagine.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
so I
are
think
you
it's
are a
not.
potato. I'm sorry.
exactly. Uh, no, but it's I agree with you, Tila. It's really interesting because a lot of languages they have those pet names, right? And like when you say in Spanish, for example, "mi amor," you can hear "mi amor" on the market. It absolutely
Yeah.
does not mean that
Some
it's any
lady,
kind of.
some lady at the airport gave me a coffee and was like, I came here more. And it's like, but
Yeah,
there is
the
also,
same
I
like in
think they also do
English.
that in
Love.
yeah English, but it's especially in the UK, I think, right?
Exactly, not in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
US. No.
Yeah,
No. In Ireland, in the UK, but no,
yeah.
US is different. But did you guys feel like I feel like what is love actually?
What is love?
Love
Baby,
is
don't hurt
Baby, don't
me.
creating.
hurt me.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me no
I mean,
more.
love is I feel like love is a connection. You know what I mean? Like when we say love and we love someone, it usually that if we dig a little bit deeper into the layers of that, it's probably something that, we have connection with that other person. And I feel like again I'm just trying to tap into this area because there are so many different scenarios. There are people that don't speak common language and they may love each other, and those scenarios are possible. But if you think about what is that connection, how can we build that connection, and I feel like the love connection is built by sharing common, for example, sense of humor or like jokes or something. And I guess this is
Values.
where values, sure, but expressing those, and I'm particularly interested in your experience in expressing sense of humor, jokes, speaking with your partner, especially that most of us have partners that are from somewhere else. And I don't know, Dimi, like, do you joke? What language do you use, and how does that work for you?
I think that's a big topic about humor, irony, sarcasm, and things like that. And I mean, like everyone else, I think I cannot translate the same things that you can see also when I talk to Telemachos. I cannot translate the same things or the same jokes. I cannot make the same jokes when
Pura
speaking
broma.
English and sorry, when I'm speaking, yeah, Greek or English or Spanish. But I can say the more you use the language, the better it becomes. So yes, of course, like some jokes I cannot get, for example, like maybe I cannot say about mention like a specific reference, a specific person or something that we joke about in Greece. But I think the humor, when you have a similar, let's say, similar levels of humor, you can definitely understand even if you speak a different language. So it can be tricky, yes, but sometimes things cannot be translated, and that can lead to maybe like you cannot like say your joke. For example, I cannot say any joke in German. Sorry, I cannot do that. It's because I don't have a really good knowledge of the language, and I also don't understand such. I'm not so close to the culture of the German. So happy that I'm not with a German person in my life. So yes, I think that's my point there. But I think with experience and with time spent with a person, you get to know the person first, plus the culture, of course. I feel like when you're meeting another person, especially if it's not from your culture, you're like opening like the doors of new things, like a new way of thinking, a new way of expressing things, probably a new way of seeing things. So there you adjust.
Sounds enriching.
This is what Magdalena was also saying in the talk, that she was saying that, that spoiler, this comes in the end of the talk. She said that the
I
solution.
haven't reached to this point. I stopped it
Guys,
after 8
no
minutes.
homework, really?
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
But no, you're doing good. Because she also talked about humor, and in the end, she said that the solution to the multilingual, a relationship or the challenges that it presents is to create something common. With the time, as you
Right.
said, you create like your own stuff or your own jokes, and I mean, I can definitely relate also to what she said. She said, "I think I'm hilarious in Austrian German. I also think I mean, as I can confirm, I am hilarious in Russian, but I feel that I cannot convey it. I mean, like not being
Not the
humble at
same,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, I cannot convey it in other languages. Like I think the closest I can come to is English and Spanish, but other languages like Norwegian, I don't think I'm finding at all. You
No.
know,
Mm.
it's
It's that's also like another topic of yeah different cultures like each language has like their own like let's say background. But I, for example, that I've been speaking for the last 8 years English, I cannot joke the same as I joke in Spanish. Spanish,
Mm.
since day not day one, but since the first years I was speaking, I was able to understand the humor from the Spanish people or
Yeah,
Spanish speaking people, and I can convey my humor because we are closer than me, like
that's a
Greeks and
good
the
point.
Germans, right?
that
Yeah.
was interesting because I was in Spain last year in Malaga hosted by a friend, and they put like as like a this typical afternoon TV comedies that you have like in most cultures, and he put one in Spanish. I forgot the name, but it's about like a apartment building and people living there, and the humor was exactly the same as Greek humor. Like I could imagine them speaking Greek; it would be exactly
Yeah.
the same humor. Really, it reminded me a lot the whole style, the vibe, the types of jokes, the types of expressions. I could easily imagine the same exact thing in Greek. So I think that that's one of the more common things that Spanish and Greek, for example, have together. That even the style of humor
Yeah.
is the same. So I think it also depends, funnily enough, also on the language group, maybe, or I don't know, the culture that you have like similar humors in these cultures. And another point I wanted to reach is that, for example, how is it with your languages and pet names, for example? Because, like, for example, in Greek, you can call your loved one like a ton of names. You can say like a lot of things. Um, also, you like we are, I think, a bit more into complimenting. Like we're a little more like, we talk, we like to be a bit exaggerating, a bit complimenting. Which whenever I've tried this in like German or English, it's like usually the Germans don't take it so well. It's a bit cringy for them. Also, they don't use, I think, so many like words. There's like,
Right.
so for example, in Greek, I don't know, you call people. I've heard between couples like the things like my heart, my bug, my flower, my sunshine. Like then you can start like with the sweets and the foods, and that's
Yeah,
like my paidaki. I don't know, like
My kurabier.
yeah, my kurabier. Like there's like, depends how cringe you want to get.
I think
Like
it's
there's
so
a
similar to
non-stop
Turkish.
sense. I guess in Turkish it's the same, right?
It's exactly the same. It's everything, literally, from so many things they create those nice words and constantly use them. It's like incredible. I mean, incredible at the same time. It is super cheesy.
But do you do that
Uh,
as somebody who was not raised in a Turkish
Frankly
culture?
speaking, I realized that I thought I'm very, so that's what's funny. And when I have to think about this whole love context, when I'm back in Poland or Belarus, I am overly affectionate, lovable, and very over the
Oh,
top. But when I'm in Turkey, I am very normal or even below average. So, you know, it's I'm not actually super affectionate with the words comparing to Turkish, but if you compare to an average Polish person how they express love, then I would be just somewhere up there. So it's very very funny because I'm kind of a mismatch in both places, but I feel like I'm definitely closer to the southern way of expressing love. But yeah, it's very funny because I'm not in Turkey, as I said. I'm on the under the level of naming in a
Hmm.
nice
but
way.
probably in Poland you have to compensate for the coldness of the people, so you're being a little bit extra because you're
Exactly. Yes,
bringing the
that's
spice.
it's not being understood right in certain situations, but I'm still acting like this. You're absolutely right.
In Arabic, they have also, of course, they're very affectionate and like "I love you" phrase that means like nothing, meaning that they can say "I love you" to someone they have never kissed or have never had a relationship. They just look at each other. They have been, I don't know, seeing each other for 2 3 days. It's already "I love you" instantly. But
Love
when it comes
bombing.
to exactly, I mean, in our eyes, right, but not for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
In another common phrase that they say in Levantine Arabic is "bury me," and there are also parallels, I'm sure, to Turkish and to Persian. And "bury me" you usually say in when you have this cuteness attack or whatever. You're like, you can say like, "Oh, like you're so cute, like bury me, bury me." It just means kind of like, affectionate, "I love you." And I also
Oh
remember
my
about
god.
Greek. I had a Serbian friend who was married to a Greek girl, and like she had this like cute accent, and he was telling me, how she speaks to me. He was saying, "Nicola, my caramel, my chocolate, my star." So I can
Asteri Moesi.
there you go. So I can confirm that the Greeks know
Yeah.
no boundaries when it comes to pet names. I can say that with my partner, because we're very cultured, mixed couple. There are like 5 or 6 cultures involved, and he calls me all kinds of animals, like which can literally mean any.
Alligator.
My
He
anaconda.
called me an owl the other day.
An owl.
No, we yeah. So I'm an owl, and he also calls me all kinds of insults, actually. And I think that yeah, this is another thing that people think it's cute. Like he's like, "Ah, you idiot," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we also do that. You use like offensive words in like a cute way, like
Yeah,
vlameno in Greek, like
vlameno.
devlameno.
Yeah, but that's a more like between friends, right? Like I wouldn't call. You will say yeah, Hazomara, but like that's like not a really
Brekuto,
bad word.
Hasumara.
kututsiko,
Yeah,
kututsiko.
you will never like call like Vlameno. Your I don't know, maybe
No, it's about how you say it, Dim. It's not what you say; it's how you
okay,
say it.
Vlameno.
Revlameno.
Can you
You mean
top
like
this one, guys?
considering?
Can you top this one in Turkish? They say "Ay bokunu yerim," which means "I'll eat your poo," and that's considered super cute. I don't know.
Wait,
Cut,
what?
cut, cut, cut,
No,
cut, cut.
I mean that's
That you
is
have to keep it. I'm sorry, Dimi. You have
no.
to keep it. This
I
is
mean,
very
I mean,
important.
No,
people can do whatever they want in
no.
their bedroom. I do not judge.
No, but
Now
that's
we
the
know what
thing.
the Turks do in their bedrooms.
No, that's the thing. You don't do it, but you always say it, and that's like the highest form about the berry. And then the other one is kurban olurum, which means I'm going to sacrifice myself for you. And that's also the other one. So these are the two super strong ones, which I find really weird. But here we go.
In Greek, we say like I die for you, like when you die, when you
Senin
like
için
somebody a lot.
ölürüm.
But
Oh yeah,
again, you can say that also for potatoes.
Yes.
But
I
and we also
agree.
say like we say little shit, a little beep, sorry, a little beep, little poop when for something small and cute. So you use it for like a baby, a kitten, a puppy. Yeah, so we also like have something similar. Now that you mention it, it
Yeah.
sounds weird in English, but it makes more sense, I think, in Greek and
Oh, so
Turkish.
much sense. Dimi, you had a question, I believe.
Did I? Yes, I had.
Vrekututsiko, rota
Yeah.
vrekututsiko.
What I wanted to say is like well, I know some friends that they are speaking they're natives in one language each of them, and they speak actually one is in two languages, but the other one is German and one is Spanish, and they speak between them in Spanish normally, like in their daily life. But when they talk about money and finance, it's
And
always switching
taxes.
to in taxes,
Wow.
switch to German. Do you
Well,
have
well,
I see nothing weird with that.
yes,
yeah,
but
exactly.
what I wanted to ask is like, do you have like, do you do the same? Do you choose one language if you're a multilingual, or if you had multilingual experience in the past, since we are polyglots as well? Like, do you use one language to express your feelings and one language to do your daily stuff or daily tasks, let's say, or like I don't know, like when watching movies or when discussing a topic, or do you have like this kind of experiences?
I
I mean, I can say that the feelings part, we almost take it entirely in Spanish, but everything else is Norwegian. So yeah, it's an easy one for me. But I normally it is due to the lack of the Spanish vocabulary of my
Mhm.
partner. Otherwise, we would have taken everything in Spanish. But normally, no, I don't switch. If he knew Spanish fluently, we would take it all in Spanish for sure. What about you?
I mean, I
Asia?
have, yeah, I have definitely constantly switching between. We do use more English for sure than anything else, but we speak a lot of Turkish when we speak about someone, especially in Poland, because no, when we have to talk
Gossip
about
to language,
some.
Turkish.
Sure, absolutely. And it is very logical for the culture because in Turkish culture, gossip is a big deal. But we also need to discuss, let's say, something very quick that we don't want to discuss and other people's not understanding, then we just do it in Turkish as well. We do work together as well, and that's purely in English. I don't remember us doing any work in Turkish unless it's actually Turkish work. So yeah, but I try to sometimes use Turkish and explain something to my partner, and it's very funny because he's like, "Just say it in English." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna say it in English because we keep using English much more than we use Turkish, and it's like." At some periods it's like 70-30 or 80-20, and I'm like, no, I need unutuyorum yani, unutuyorum lan, unutuyorum. So I was like, I'm forgetting, you need to bring me back to like speaking Turkish, and I'm kind of forcing him to switch to Turkish. But yeah, he's not really like whenever I'm asking about some kind of word or I'm saying, oh, how can I say this or how can I say that? He's like, you know what? I'm not really sure, but yeah, if I get some of my talks acceptable for PG, I'll tell you how my hubby helped me with that, which was very interesting. It's about idioms.
I thought for some reason with Asia that you would speak with your husband only in Turkish. I don't know why, but
Yes.
never thought that you would actually you guys would speak in English because you love speaking Turkish, and yeah, it's his native tongue. So I'm like, why do they even bother with English?
Yeah, I mean, his English is better than his Turkish. That's probably why as
Okay,
well.
okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's the
Yeah, but
same for me. So it's like an easier thing to do. But then, yes, his Turkish is obviously much better than mine. But yeah,
mhm.
that's why we kind of, I think it's like objectively around 70-30 or 60-40. Obviously, the majority being English.
Oh, makes it interesting. It's nice to do these language swaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, and with this, our dear listeners, we've come to the end of this episode. Thanks a lot for listening, and it's a very I think it's I hope you think that too, that it's a very interesting and juicy topic. So if you also have any experiences or funny stories about that, please let us know in the
Let us
comments.
know what your mix is like.
Exactly. And have a great Sunday, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Ciao,
Besitos.
ciao.
Bye bye.